Hi, I'm Cheryl,
And I'm TK.
and we're trekking with TK. We just got back from a 7-day Western Caribbean Norwegian Encore cruise, and we learned a lot about what you need and what you don't need on your cruise. So we are here to talk today about cruise essentials that you really do not want to forget. So first of all, let's think about your documents and travel info. You need your passport, you need your driver's license. I would make color copies of at least your passport to take with you on excursions if you don't need your passport to get back on board. Any cruise boarding documents, like Norwegian Cruise Line, I'm sure all the others have you either have them electronically or on paper when you get there to check in. Your travel insurance details, credit cards, and some cash, including some small bills for tipping. We did find we wanted to tip certain people that really went above and beyond, as well as those that took our luggage at the port. Also, make sure to bring copies of any of your other travel arrangements. For example, if you booked any tours outside of your cruise line, you'll want to make sure to have those either physically or electronically, and your emergency contacts list.
I'm going to take you through a few helpful ideas for organization and your traveling. First off, the suitcase. I absolutely love my away suitcase. I got the small one first, and now I have the full-size suitcase with the expander. So does Cheryl, and we absolutely love them. They're durable, they roll great, they lock. Highly, highly recommended. Also, one of the things you're going to want to have is a pool or an excursion bag to carry your sunscreen or things you might need to carry off the boat. We happen to like these Aloha bags. They're water resistant, they've got pockets, they zip, they're really light. She's got one right there.
This is just the small one that came with the big bag, but there's many options, or you may already have something at home.
When you arrive with your luggage, you're going to want to put your tag, the paper tag that most cruise lines give you, into a plastic holder, because if you don't, it'll tear quite easily. So we find that these were real helpful. And you know what you don't want is your tag to fall off and your luggage to wind up somewhere taking a long time to get to you. So again, highly recommend them. Also, hanging toiletry bags. The space is very limited in these bathrooms. And if you've got something you can hang in the back of your door for all your toiletries, and it folds up into a pretty small thing that will fit in your suitcase quite easily. Also, you should buy, along those lines, small, empty travel bottles for your toiletries. Our cruise, they didn't have conditioner or lotion, and the shampoo they had maybe wasn't the brand that you might like. Along the lines of the luggage tag is cruise lanyards. We didn't use the lanyards, but if you have swimsuits and you're not going to take a bag out to the beach or on your excursion, you can put your key, which also gets you into your meals and your drinks and whatever else you may have, in a lanyard, and it'll help you quite a bit to not lose your key. Another thing that we use on a regular basis is compression packing cubes. These things, like I said, they come in, I think, 3 different sizes, and we put whatever, you can separate your things, shirts, pants, swimsuits, whatever it is, zip them up, it compresses them, and it makes for a lot easier packing and unpacking, and it keeps you very organized. And then finally, a label maker. I know it sounds, kind of like excessive compulsive, but you can label all your things when you're in your packing cubes. Again, it makes it a lot easier to identify your stuff.
Also, we have for you some really good cabin hacks. Number 1, the walls are metal, so you can get some magnetic hooks. We did get these magnetic hooks here, and I'll have them linked, and they're pretty small. They claim that they're 30 pounds. I don't know if that means for the whole lot of them or for one of them, but I would say these did not hold up too much stuff. It held up maybe a couple of my swim cover-ups, all of our hats we put on the wall. I'll also link some 80-pound magnetic hooks in case you have heavier items that you want to hang. But they came in very useful. We were much more organized with these magnetic
And you
hooks.
can hang a wetsuit on them, or your workout clothes if you don't want to mix those up after you've worked out. So use them for a lot of different things.
Yeah, and we definitely did that. Also, we have a bunch of just freebie magnetic chip clip hooks. We brought a few of those, and we would hang our schedule, we would hang our tickets for any of our excursions, and just anything that you wanted to see to be reminded of. So if you have any of those lying around, I think those would be great to bring as well.
We had one USB on the nightstands, and so we have a multi-charger that can charge your Apple Watch, or multiple different connections. And If that doesn't work, you should get a power bank that attaches to the back of your phone. Because again, on excursions or if you forget to charge your phone overnight, you're not going to want to miss those memories out there on an excursion with no battery, or if you get into trouble and you need to use your phone. So again, a pretty important thing. Another thing we brought is air tags. We put air tags in our backpacks, our suitcases, whatever you might have, just to keep track of stuff. Those things are awesome. If you use Apple products, highly, highly recommend Apple air tags. Another thing we found, we didn't use them. Probably if you have kids, I think it's a great thing. Walkie-talkies. The Wi-Fi plans on some of these ships, very, very expensive. You do get limited minutes, I think, depending on the package you have. But we saw kids out there with walkie-talkies communicating with other kids or with their parents, and it's a good option to have if you're trying to save money on the Wi-Fi package. And finally, a power strip. Again, because of the limited amount of power, usually our ship had both U.S. power outlets and I think at least one European power outlet. So if you have a converter, if you're from the U.S. and you have a converter because you've traveled to Europe, bring that if you're going to plug in a lot of things, or bring a cruise-approved power strip. Maybe each ship's different. We were on Norwegian, not sure, but they will make sure that you have one that's approved. They don't want anything going wrong in the cabin. So that's it for techs and gadgets.
Another thing that you want to bring is some things for if you're going on a beach excursion or at least for the pool. We did bring some waterproof phone pouches. These came in very handy. We did do a snorkeling boat excursion. So we kept our phones in here. We were able to take photos in the water. They worked out really well. Another thing is towel bands or towel clips, but the bands are less bulky to pack. So you can put those around. It keeps your towel secure because there were days it got very windy out on the deck.
Very windy, yeah.
So it really helped. You can bring a travel mug. I suggest you bring one that actually seals. I really like the Hydro Drug Traveler. We used our mugs a lot, especially we took it when we left the boat. So we would take a full drink with us and have it to drink out there, whatever you're gonna drink. It could be water or a drink from your drink package, and then you don't have to buy it out on your location. We also have a mini portable stroller fan. We were able to attach it to a beach chair or just have it for when we were out in the sun and it was really hot. And it lasts several hours if you keep it charged. And then a couple things is sunscreen. Like you need to make sure, number one, you have good sunscreen because it down there in the Caribbean is very strong. And if you need to buy sunscreen, either at the port or on the cruise ship, it's gonna be very expensive. Also, if you're going on like a snorkeling or diving excursion, you may need to have mineral sunscreen.
And if you don't check a bag, make sure that you get the size that you can carry on, which I think is 3.5 or 3 3/4 ounces. And if you wind up with a lotion in a larger container, again, use those smaller containers and just squirt the lotion in there and just make sure that it's the right size.
And I think you brought up a very good point is that your luggage, your big luggage is going to be taken away and you are not going to get it right away. So most likely you're going to get on and you won't even be able to go to your room right away. So in your carry-on, you want to have, the things that you need for that day, bathing suit, flip-flops, and a small enough sunscreen so that you can go outside and enjoy before you're able to get into the cabin. And even sometimes your luggage comes even much later than that.
Now I'm going to talk a little bit just about some miscellaneous items and things related to potentially any medications you might need. We brought up pill organizers for all of our pills. That way we're not buying tons of medication on the boat, whether it's cold medicine. I mean, you don't know if you're going to get a cold. You may not have a cold, but I bring cold medicine, ibuprofen, Imodium, acid reliever, any other prescriptions you might have. I would also, make sure you bring a motion sickness patch. Another good one, Cheryl's pretty happy about this one, is Poo-Pourri. It's just something, for your cabin mates if you want to be courteous. It's pretty self-explanatory and there's a link for it, but your roommate will like you for it. Other things, Downy wrinkle release. I think we had do we have a steamer in there?
Nope.
I can't remember.
You can't bring a
steamer. I think
steamer.
you can request something.
Yes.
But, if you can get a wrinkle release, a Tide stick in case you have any spills or stains you want to get out right away, if it's something that you want to wear again or you're worried about it. We brought those, and they came in handy. I'm a little bit of a messy eater, so So they certainly came in handy. Static is another one, Downy static removers. Just, they don't take up much space and you don't know if you're gonna need them, but they're helpful. There's another product that we love, Miss Mouth's Messy Eater. Again, great for stains. You know, if you get something spilled on you on the ship, you know, you wanna get it out right away so it doesn't set, you know, or if you spilled some wine on a piece, something that you wanna wear again, really works great. Other couple miscellaneous things, small, you know, you can bring dice, or playing cards or any small games. You know, it's not always nice on a ship, or maybe you're tired of the sun and want to just sit around in the lobby and play cards or some other game. You know, bring something small and you'll be happy.
And one thing I forgot about is our room had a little bit of a dusty smell. So I did get this Febreze to go and I sprayed, you know, kind of the bed and the surrounding fabric. So I was happy that I had it. I don't think you always need it, but if you can get something small like that as well. So I think that about sums up
I think so.
our recommendation. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like our full must-have cruise essentials packing list, please comment and we will send it directly to you.
Thank you. Look forward to trekking with you.